That's no ordinary darkness. It feels powerful and familiar. Stay on your guard.
Are you the true soul?
The shadow curse. It doesn't seem to affect me like it does others. Not as badly, at least. Do you know what this means? I must be blessed. Lady Shar is protecting me where others are left to face her wrath. She loves me. She must do. Lady Shar wouldn't bless me like this for no reason. There must be something she wants of me. Those signs we found about Dark Justiciars, perhaps they were no coincidence. In either case, I need to watch for any place dedicated to Lady Shar. A temple, perhaps. This place. There's a power in these shadows, I can sense it. It's ancient. Familiar. Everything, potentially. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shar, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a Dark Justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shar's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable.
Their god and their guide together.
Someone pinch me, please. I'd really love to wake up from this nightmare. I've never seen such a concentration of shadow magic. We must forge on, but carefully. It will corrupt any who lack the power to control it. It is the very antithesis of all the weave stands for. A magic of confusion and corruption, drawn forth only by those desperate or damned enough to accept its degradations. Followers of Mystra, those who call on the true weave, are expressly forbidden to indulge it. Mystra's domain is the weave and the magic that courses through it. These shadows were drawn from another source, created by another goddess, Shar. Mystra cannot destroy it even if she wishes to, but she can try to ensure her followers resist its temptations.
A true soul. You have more worshippers every day, Majesty. Yes. They'll do nicely.
Stop! What's you doing? She's the one who saved us!
She's the one who protected the Emerald Grove.
Yup. Didn't leave a goblin standing. Not so bad to hang around with either. Saved one of my friends from a druid with a snake. Knows when to be discreet too. I'd pretty much trust her with my life.
A true soul with a mind of her own? How is that possible? Then our interests align. We must all cure ourselves of the entire cult of the Absolute. There's food in the inn over there. Beds too if you require rest. Aloe oil in the cupboard, in case the vines gave you a rash. Settle in. Then come join me for a drink. You may just be the godsend we've been praying for.
This land is more than just soil and rock, root and leaf. It is a living being, in the form of a young fey boy, with the forest itself in his eyes. His name is Thaniel. I've met him in my meditations, but since the curse was unleashed, I have not felt his presence. He is its prisoner, I fear. And as long as he remains so, his domain will lie in darkness. But if we can find him, we can break the curse. If you learn anything of the Shadowfell, or of a boy with the forest in his eyes, find me at once. It's not easy, seeing the ravages of the Shadow Curse. But your camp is a most welcome solace. You've shared your fire with me, your company. A small pocket of light against the darkness. But one I couldn't do without. Thank you. You're too modest by far. What fate would I have met without you? Rotting in the goblin cells? Dying against an onslaught on the grove? More good has been done since I met you than in 100 years before. Words cannot express my gratitude. Yes, I think you do. Forgive me. Sometimes I forget myself, gazing on the beauty of nature's creations.
Yes! We need to go find Dammon. I'm going to get a hug. Soon! Oh my god, soldier. That's Jaheira. The Jaheira. Don't you know the whole story? Years ago, over a century, Jaheira was part of a group that saved Baldur's Gate from Saravok, a Baal sport trying to plunge the city into war. My mum used to tell us stories about them. The legends who protected the city from evil. She said Jaheira was a powerful druid. Adamant. Tough. I've told myself those stories 1,000 times since. I never thought I'd meet Jaheira. She's a hero, and I was always some outer city kid. Can't believe she wants to talk to us about working together. What a day!
Karlach, I thought you'd be in the city by now. We were ambushed by cultists. Half of us were captured, the other half ran here.
Off the anvil into the forge. We'll find them. Hopefully.
Before you run off into the belly of the beast, there's something I need to tell you. Well, two things. Good news and bad news.
The good news, obviously.
I only need one more piece of infernal iron to craft an insulating chamber that can make it possible for Karlach to...
Touch people!
Exactly!
Oh my god. It's really happening. It's been so long. We've got the iron. Let's do this thing!
Hang on! I think you'll want to hear the bad news too.
Yeah, sure. But first, fix me. Please. There. So, did it work?
Only one way to find out.
Thank you. I can't believe it. Thank you, dammon. Thank you so much.
It's the least I could do.
The minute I set foot back in Avernus, Zarya will force me back into service. I'm not doing her bidding again. I'd rather die.
I get that, but don't rule it out. The world just might be better with you in it. Even in Avernus. I won't stop trying to figure out a cure, but... at this point, I think we all have to face the inevitable.
Listen, I'm never going back. If you said I could die right now, or live 1,000 years in the hells, I'd choose to go out now with my freedom intact. I don't expect anyone to understand that. But I've been dealt a hand most people don't have to contemplate playing. Thanks, soldier. Your support means I've got one less thing to worry about. That means a lot to me. You really are the best of the best. Of the best.
So, the untouchable karlach is untouchable no more. I'd shake her hand, but she can still snap me in two, so, probably safest to skip it.
Rolan, of all people, saved us. He said he stayed in the grove because of you. And I'm damn glad of it. Without him, well, none of us would be here.
There's another bottle of arabella dry back there. Put it on the bar, then piss off and leave me alone.
Jaheira said we should serve drinks, but that we shouldn't serve drunks.
Jaheira didn't save your ragged little tail from the cultists. I did. I'd rather drown than talk to a sanctimonious prick like you. If you're here to save the day again, you're a little late this time. I tried. Maybe she'll write a ballad about me. She can leave out the part where my brother and sister were dragged away screaming while I was saving the orphans. If you hadn't filled their heads with all that self-righteous, heroic crap at the Grove, none of this would have happened. They're my responsibility. You go save the world. Or your own arse. Or whatever it is you do. I'll fix this.
We met him on the road here, commanding an army of the Absolute, intent on destroying Baldur's Gate. I put an arrow through his eye myself, only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter.
Welcome to our humble... Wait, are you karlach? A lot of us were in Avernus. We saw you fighting. You were so good.
Well, yeah, I guess I was. I mean, you should avoid fighting for devils if you can. But if you can't, it helps to have a good right hook.
I saw you lay out a Moor demon in 2 hits. Bam! Bam! We were all like, whoa! How'd you learn to fight like that?
Had to. Life didn't pull any punches. It was up to me to learn to take a hit and deal one back.
I've been tossed around a lot too. I want to learn how to fight back too.
From the look of things, you've got your wits about you. A clever mind and a bit of style will take you a long way. Fight with those, and you may find you never need to use your fists at all.
In that case, want to buy a lucky ring I found?
Ha! Nice try, Shorty. Keep it up, though, and you'll be scamming with the greats in no time.
A blushing apple begging to be plucked.
Please let me smack this creep.
Now, let's talk about you. I sense there's something you want to ask me.
I do. I have a proposal for you.
A proposal? If you're hoping to taste my blood, little vampling, think again. It burns hotter than wyvern whiskey.
This is serious business. Devil. A long time ago, someone carved some runes into my back. I'd rather like to know what they say.
You haven't told them? And you've kept your clothes on this whole time. How unlike you. Why not let them see? Don't be shy.
God damn it.
Don't worry. I'm motivated to help you. Scars often tell such wonderful stories. I think yours might be truly exquisite. I'll see you soon.
Well, now you know. Cazador worked on it from dusk until dawn, all with an ancient blade he called his needle. Cutting and tearing, starting over if I screamed or winced too much. It was a rough night. But what's done is done, so how about we stop talking about it and just get on with things? Although I should probably get dressed first.
Oh, such impatience. It's something very important to your master, but is it a love letter, a warning, or a deed of ownership? I could give you all the gory details, but of course, you'll have to do something for me first. Let me think about it and get back to you.
You'll get back to me? This is important, devil. When?
Don't worry, I'm motivated to help you.
Ah, you found your way. Good.
He's trouble. Worse, he's a traitor. Whatever loyalty he had towards Lady Shar is long gone. It would please her greatly to see him meet his long overdue end, I'll wager.
You have used the wizard well. But the desperate one who would love such a pathetic man must hunger for greater delights deep down. With the absolute, your fantasies can become more real than flesh. The pleasures of the mind can surpass those of the body.
Ah, it's you. I should have guessed. I said go home! Say that again.
I-F. Or is it an E? Is it even a letter? What damn language is this? What are you doing? Well, if you must know, I've been trying to make out the scars on my back. I can't see them, so I've been trying to feel my way about. But they may as well be written in Rashimi. That had better be a joke. I can't read it with a mirror, and it seems I can't read it with my hands either. This isn't your problem, you know. Fine.
The runes are carved in deep, brutal strokes, but the jagged letters mean nothing to you. Whatever language this is, you don't recognize it.
And? What does it say? What in the hells? What did he do to me? I have absolutely no idea. But it's no poem. 2 centuries carrying this. And I can finally see it. No, let's keep this between ourselves. At least until we know what it means. 2 centuries carrying this. And I can finally see it. None at all. It doesn't look like a poem. It doesn't look like anything I recognize. Whatever he's left carved in my flesh, it's a mystery to me. Thank you, by the way. This is... well, it's something. Will we? How... sweet.
It does not compare with the comforts of home, but your camp is almost palatial in comparison to my previous accommodation. Thank you for allowing me to come here, and for bringing me back to myself. Each memory that returns to me is more disturbing than the last. The things that I did in the name of the Absolute. The things that were done to me. They broke my mind.
Minthara's something of a closed book, but I suspect a heart of gold lurks beneath that stern countenance. Once she gets to know me, I'm sure she'll open up. She's just waiting for someone ready to listen.
I want to be clear. Letting Minthara tag along with us was your idea, so if you wake up with a dagger to your throat, that's on you. Excuse me. I'm sorry for looking out for our collective hides. But fine. Take her if you wish. Just know I'll be resting with one eye open.
It doesn't seem long ago that Minthara would have sought to kill us, and now we've welcomed her along. We're nothing if not magnanimous. There's something I've been wanting to share with you, if now's a good time. It's difficult to put into words. I think it might be easier to just show you. Use the tadpole, the connection. Come into my mind.
The wizard? No. It is pointless. In my experience, the moment they leave their libraries, wizards have the life expectancy of a gnome in a war. Either the enemy recognizes they are a threat and kills them swiftly, or their curiosity leads them to combust while experimenting with the limits of magic. Our wizard is already in a state of suspended combustion, thanks to that orb between his ribs. I suspect it is only a matter of time before he goes up in smoke.
He's bloated like a corpse and smells worse. Did the curse do this?
Oh, look at the thing. A few more tastes of its own medicine and it'll burst.
Your belly rumbles as the vile brew fills it, yet your mind remains miraculously steady.
A house of healing, from the looks of it.
Should I be in need of medical treatment, please don't bring me here.
On one hand, they seem useful. But on the other hand, or perhaps tentacle before long, we know where they're coming from. And what lies at the end of that path. I never expected ceremorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it.
His corpse. It's Arabella's father. The horror of his end I daren't contemplate. Gods! What living nightmare is this?
Come, sisters. Soothe me.
It's quite thrilling to fight off such grim creatures as this region throws at us, especially being at your side. I once read a book that explained in some detail the effect a brush with danger has on one's desire for other forms of stimulation. Have you ever read anything on that subject? I believe you. You never looked so beautiful as at the end of a stirring battle. Your cheeks flushed, gaze bright, muscles glistening. Perhaps it's just the thrill of our near-undead experience talking. Standing at your side through such darkness and disrepair, it only makes me want you more. Unfortunately, this is neither the time nor the place to indulge such feelings, so we must be patient and push all such thoughts aside. For now. Wait, that's Arabella, is it not? Looks like she's got some new weave up her sleeve.
Our hero thought but of treasure ahead, did not consider the peace of the dead. And don't think I've forgotten your tale, Astarion. When the beast is dead, I'll consider that payment enough to translate those scars of yours.
A fairer deal than I expected.
You wound me, Spawn. I always deal fairly.
I'd trust a devil over a vampire any day. I think he likes us. Fret not. My soul is quite safe. I am not about to swap one master for another. Even though he's using me, I'm using him too. And what do I care about this orphan's life?
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of Gale of Waterdeep. He wishes to extend you an invitation for a private conversation in a more suitable locale. You are speaking to a mere projection of Gale. His appearance, his voice, and a certain measure of his personality, reconstituted in this case to play as emissary and usher. Would you care to join him? What little I could glean from the portion of his mind that is open to me, it is a matter most urgent. Gladly. Simply follow yonder path, and soon you will find him. I love this time of night. There's an almost reverent silence that accompanies the peak of darkness, when you'd almost believe the dawn will never break. The cradle of eternity. The timelessness of lovers. That most beautiful of fantasies. Indeed. The curse is still present, of course. Just veiled and at arm's length for now. Not a trick I can repeat often, but tonight is different. This may be my last night alive. I wanted it to be under a canopy of beauty and wonder, and with company to match. I thought this place might bring me peace. I thought it might make the weight of what I must do feel a little lighter. But I'm not so sure. Thank you. But even if we do find another way, perhaps this is the right way. The end fate wishes for me. There is no point in running from the inevitable. Better to meet it on my own terms. One moment with you could sate me for a lifetime and prize the fear from my heart. I'm so very glad you came to share this with me. I know this is all unreal, but I created it for you. You must know that you're very special to me. If things were different, if we were home, I'd have taken time to do things properly, to say it all better. But time is short. I'm in love with you. That's a relief. It would be a shame to spend my final hours making an ass of myself. Not if I have any say in the matter. I want it to be perfect. To bond with you in the way the gods do, intertwining our spirits in visions of the weave. Are you sure? I could do more than woo you. I could wow you. Yes, you are. Trust me, I would know. Let's do it your way, then. So long as it's with you. A small gesture towards your comfort. I wanted to talk to you about our night together. Have you ever walked to the very edge of a great precipice and shuddered at how easy it would be to step into the void? Ever since Elminster told me of Mistra's expectations of me, I felt like I've been walking along such a cliff face. The great drop to nothingness, never out of my sight. But you led me away from the edge. Without your words, your touch, I fear I would have sought purpose and solace in that void. Reminding me what living can feel like. I had been hoping you'd say that. To be an object of pity. I couldn't live with that. I hope the end is much farther away than I had suspected. I hope that night meant as much to you as it did to me. And I hope we all have more time together. Together. Alone. I'll see that there is. Woe betide anyone who tries to stop me. What a question. No. You're not the first. Though you are the first since my relationship with Mistra came to its ignominious end. When the true danger posed by my condition became apparent, I had no choice but to sequester myself away from civilized society. A reclusive wizard. Who'd have thought? After so long with Mistra, I have to say the pleasures of mortal love are much sweeter than I remember. Though perhaps that's simply because it's with you. Grateful, mostly. For meeting you. For having someone who cares that I'm here, alive, and not reduced to a cloud of netherese vapor. Someone apart from my Tressim, that is. I'm many things to many people, but I'm never a man to throw the L word around lightly. I said exactly what I meant. I love you. You should never, never doubt that. Plenty of them, and all complicated. It's not easy to turn away from one you once loved, but now that I see our relationship with all the illumination hindsight has to offer, I mostly feel only regret. I was not the first wizard to fall under her spell, nor will I be the last. I was an amusement to her. Mortal to be trifled with, amused and eventually discarded. I regret the way I hurt her, of course I do. But she would have seen me destroy myself to earn her forgiveness. There's no love lost between us. None at all. You must know. Our relationship is the brightest spot in our otherwise bleak endeavor. To know you love me for the man I am and not the magic I command. None have loved me so purely before. You are everything to me. And yet our relationship is only a nascent fraction of what it will become. You give me hope. And I've not had that in some time.
I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious. But once you take an illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you.
Let's begin. Whatever happens, do not attempt to enter the portal, and do not let anything interfere with it. It took me years of study, of seeking the Oak Father's favor, to find a way to part the veil. Pray that this works. Oak Father, hear me, aid me. Force open the jaws of darkness. Make passage for your vessel of light. It's ready. I'll return with Thaniel as soon as possible. Stay close to the portal. Buy me what time you can. It's done. I have him. But something's wrong. Dreadfully wrong. No. It can't be. No. But some part of him is missing. He's hollow. I need to examine him back at the camp. Come see us when you can.
Anything I can do for you, consider it most enthusiastically done. My time is yours. What do you need?
Every moment counts, and I've asked much of you already without being at your side. If you want me, I'm yours. Against the curse, against the absolute. Anything. Just say the word.
God damn it all! I could do nothing right! Not a damn thing! So what if I was? Cal and Leah could be there. Instead, I found myself cornered by shadow fiends and in need of rescue. From you, of all bloody people. Or not hard enough. I've failed Cal and Leah again. Be on your way. I'll return to Last Light. I know when I'm outmatched.
She will find her way safely. Thus, it is fated.
Bowman, you're making me leave.
Fear not, girl. Abandon not the weave, and it shall not abandon thee.
You feel the grief fade as if it were your own. There is a lightness in her now, veiling the power within, soothing it.
Is that my future? Is that why they died?
It is.
It's wonderful. Thank you, Bowman, for being nice. If there are people like you around, perhaps everything will be all right.
Leah could still be in Moonrise!
She's gone, Rolan. I saw it.
Did you even try to save Leah?
I tried to save her. I swear it. Please, Rolan.
And whose fault is that?
Do you wish it was me who died? Instead of Leah?
Gods, no, that's not what I meant. Never, Cal. Never. Shit. I'm sorry.
Me too.
Boo! I scared you! I saw it! Nobody beats me at hide and seek.
That's him. Like an echo of Thaniel, remolded by the curse. We need him if we're to put a stop to all of this.
Will you play with me?
It's about time Halsin actually stepped up and joined us properly. He's certainly been taking up space at camp for long enough.
A savvy move recruiting Halsin to our cause. While I'm adept at most forms of weave manipulation, druidic magic is not my area of expertise. He will make for a most useful option to have in reserve.
Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt. No matter how long I live, I will always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Would she have helped the refugees? Defended the Grove? Controlled Korga? When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning.
I think I'll enjoy traveling with Halsin. Not for his wit or wisdom. He'll just make an excellent shield if we're attacked.
Halsin's proved himself a fine ally already. He'll be useful in battle, if those tree trunk arms are an indication.
Halsin is such a delight. Woe to the cultist who tangles with that thick hunk of an elf.
I feel the weave growing more distant by the moment. We walk Shar's path now. Best we don't spend too long in her shadow.
I do like it down here. It's nice. Homey.
This is a dedication to my goddess's power and dark beauty. Homey is not the first word that comes to mind. I'd trust this gas bag about as far as I can throw him, which isn't far. But perhaps better to play along, for now.
This temple certainly is grand. Well, it's a rundown bearing the weight of centuries sort of grand, which is my favorite kind, incidentally.
That almost is doing a great deal of heavy lifting. That man changes allegiances more frequently than a courtesan changes their bedsheets. At least he's proof you can turn from Shar and live to tell the tale. Though some may not call that living.
Unworthy of dark cloak. Unworthy of dark fur. Unworthy.
As rats go, this one seems to be somewhat of an eccentric.
We've always been here. It's ours. We watch over it. You do not belong.
Are you really being waylaid by a snack? Let's just look around. Vermin be damned.
Try not to hit an artery.
Anything I can do for you, consider it most enthusiastically done.
He's a pompous sack of spare parts. He and his undead lackeys should never have come here. Perhaps I can rid Lady Shar's gauntlet of them yet.
Shar's domain indeed. Despair and discarded memories lurking in every shadow.
The way she leered at me. The blood merchant. I can't get it out of my head. It isn't like me. Not like me at all. I was being too precious, wasn't I? We could have used her potion. A moment of unpleasantry doesn't matter if there's a fine reward. I should have just gritted my teeth as always and let her have me. For a bit. Having been through all I have, you damn well are going to fight with what few assets the gods give you. But a part of me feels sick when I think about getting on my back for breadcrumbs again. I had nothing at all for so long. Not even my body. That was owned by Cazador. To be sent out to tempt fools into his palace. I have bedded thousands of people. Half of them I barely remember. Most of them didn't even grant me temporary bliss. It should have been so easy to let the drow use me for her fantasy, but perhaps, you showed me I have enough strength. I don't need to. It isn't worth the scars anymore.
Hey, soldier. About that tadpole. Glad to see you haven't gone down the tadpole slorping route yet. We still don't know if that visitor has our best interests in mind. Me? Nah. Nope. Sorry. Good. And you know, keep an eye on yourself. If you start feeling loopy, shout. We don't know what these tadpoles are capable of.
Scratch's tail wags furiously. These two have become firm friends.
This is one of Lady Shar's trials. Allow me, please.
A well-chewed spider carcass oozes on the ground. The meat is oozing, but not with blood. It's been dosed with a potion. Sulfur, decay, and a thin whiff of something unexpectedly fragrant. The meat tastes of rot and sour milk. Your stomach lurches, but your loins tingle. Was that arousal?
Why are you looking at that dead spider coquettishly?
In amongst the rot is an unmistakable sweetness. Succubus spittle. The meat is charmed. The carcass continues to leak. Your guts cramp, your stomach churns, and your nerves burn with a pain that would almost be pleasurable were it not so savage.
Stop licking the damn thing!
What's this? Fresh entertainment? But you're too fresh for this place, aren't you?
What are you doing? The devil told us to kill this thing, so let's stop chatting and kill it. It's a lot to take in. What do you think I should do? I hate how right you are. I knew he wouldn't leave me alone, even when I was just another wretched toy for him to play with. But if I'm the key to the power he craves, he'll hunt me to the ends of Faerun. I need to take the fight to him, and I need you to help me. Thank you.
Balthazar has drawn his final rancid breath. A pity it was not my hand that brought it about. Instead, it was you. You, who have come to seek the praise of your wicked goddess. You, who have come to drive a dagger through my heart.
Not a dagger, a spear. My Lady Shar's spear. Her fate is mine to seal. Let me handle this.
The fate you seal is your own. To be a Dark Justiciar is to turn your heart from everything but loss. You will know no love, no joy, only servitude, until of course your mistress inevitably discards you. And there is much she does not tell you. A terrible blood price that may extend beyond my own death.
Cannot allow! This is my mistress's will, my life's purpose! Shar will disown me. Now I'm truly lost.
You were already lost, little warrior. A lost child, frightened by wolves.
What did you say?
Much has been promised to you, hasn't it? But what has been taken from you? What do you know of your own heart? Your own life? Lay a hand on me in friendship, not quite Sharon. And I will fight the battle that has been waiting for me this last century. Then, oh then, we will have much to discuss. Our Lady of Silver, hear me. She who guides the Moon Maiden Selûne, mother of the so-called Nightsong. The Nightsong is no more! I am resplendent.
We need to leave. Lady Shar won't stand for us to be here, not after what we did. I'm not sure there's a place that's far enough away for me to go. Lady Shar must be angry. There's only silence. Let's get out of here, please. Whatever's coming, I don't want to be in the heart of the Shadowfell when it finds me.
So, Shadowheart stood up to the Dark Lady. I'm almost impressed.
What secrets does this Aasimar promise to reveal, I wonder? Whatever they are, Shadowheart will pay dearly for them. Shar will make sure of it.
I defied Lady Shar. She won't stand for this. We can talk later. I need to get out of here first. I thought I was done for. I thought perhaps I might have been dead. This is all like some sort of terrible dream. But it's real, isn't it? I stood before the Nightsong. I heard Lady Shar's words. And I failed her. Worse than failed her, I defied her. Just because of what that Aasimar said. I tried to leave, but Shar blocked me. Punished me for failing her. I thought I knew the limit of pain that the incurable wound could inflict, but I had no idea. It felt like I was suffering the agony of 1,000 people all at once. My blood was boiling, my hair was on fire. I thought I'd claw my own face off with the pain. But then she released me. Banished me, more like. She said I was an outcast. That all of her children would know me and revile me.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until Shar took vengeance. For the Lady of Loss, she does not like losing.
Poor Shadowheart. The gods are nothing if not vindictive in their vengeance.
Ugh, it's full of dripping goo, slime. Whatever it is, it's coming from higher up the tower.
You. What have you done? What have you done to me? The prism. You've had it all this time, you worm. You will bow before me. And if you will not bow, you will break.
How good it is to see you again, Ketherick. At last you found a godmaster that suits you, it seems.
Aylin, the thief. You stole Isobel from me, and now you think you'll take my life in the bargain?
You dare to speak her name. After your crimes innumerable, you would evoke her before me!
If our luck holds, they won't need to. If it doesn't, well, they are Harpers. Being outnumbered is part of the job.
Time for us to take a rather literal leap of faith.
What in the nine hells is going on? I thought we had him. Nothing to do but follow him and finish the job.
The hole yawns back at you, impossibly wide. A single tentacle burrowed through stone.
This is an Illithid colony. This must be where they harvest the tadpoles. We're close to the source of the infections.
Fascinating as our surroundings are, we must press on. If our runaway general is down here, the heart of the Absolute will be too.
This place brings back the worst memories. It's like being kidnapped all over again.
So, Astarion, which of us would you rather feed on if you had free reign?
Wyll, no question. He's strong, fast, and righteous. I'm salivating already.
Interesting.
You sound disappointed. I'll bite you if you ask.
I'm sure you would. Don't sound so eager.
Killed a few giant bats in my day, Astarion, but never hunted a vampire.
Just to remind you, I'm merely a spawn. It won't count. But if you want a true vampire, I'm happy to recommend one.
Hells. I didn't think I was going to make it. Thank you.
Zevlor.
Watching gods. The Blade of Frontiers. Wyll? What happened?
I paid the price of angering the wrong devil.
And shouldered the cost to spare someone else a worse fate, I'd wager.
So, a vampire spawn and a monster hunter in the same group. We're not going to have trouble, are we?
Excuse me. Since this tadpole, I'm barely a monster at all. I just want to survive, same as you.
I don't see a problem. As long as Mr. Fang there keeps his appetite in check.
Mizora, you're Zariel's asset.
My dumb little stinker. Took you long enough. Now, by Grazit's cock, get me out of this thing!
Not yet, Mizora. It's a seller's market now. Time we struck up a new deal.
Is it? Please, enlighten me.
You end it. No more pact, no more debt. Then I set you free, and you flit back to Zariel and leave me for good.
Fine, I'll play your game. But I amend the pact once I'm free, not before. Clause F, Section 9. Soulbinder shall bestow reward or favor only upon soulbearer's fulfillment of related obligation. Now, open the pod.
Fine. Let her out.
You did all right, Wyll. I'd give your belly a good rub, but never could stand the smell.
You're free, Mizora. I held up my end. Now you hold up yours. Sever the pact.
Clause Z, Section 13. If the Soulbinder consents to separation, she will release the Soulbearer from all obligation within 6 months.
6 months? Gods damn you!
Well, after jumping through all those hoops, a little treat wouldn't hurt. All that power. And to think you want to throw it away. Now, you've got business in the towers to take care of. Don't you fret. I'll find you soon enough. You're going to need me. Count on it.
Wyll's devil is a sly little wretch. I'll give her that.
You'd think I'd have more sympathy for someone trapped in a pod, but perhaps we should have left Mizora where we found her.
The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane.
The Lash of Bone!
The Testament of Merkel!
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guest. Behold, Duke Ravengard, the Absolute.
Whom preserve us?
You wag your word flap in vain, Alderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Shit, no! Father!
Let us speak plainly. My Lord Merkel gave me the one thing I desired, the one thing no other god could grant me. My daughter's life returned. Her heart beating once more. For that, he asked that I serve as his chosen. Join Orin and Gortash to grow the cult of the Absolute, and then take control of it. He's never had a more voted follower. I have fought great wars before, in the service of other gods and other powers, but for Merkel, I would condemn all of Faerun to death. You are all that stands between me and my destiny. And you have brought the prism here. I will kill you now. And then I will raise you as my servant. What a fool you are. You cannot kill me. I am eternal. Merkel, Lord of Bones, I am here. I am ready. I am yours!
The Triad help us.
You have no idea what you've done. Isobel.
The villain is the wretch! Together we have crushed him, brain and body. Now, we pick our way toward our fates, unleashed.
You have my sword. My fealty. Do what you must.
Then we fly this foul place.
In death, the body is cooling, but energy radiates from the stone.
Worm's Rock Fortress. All travelers to Baldur's Gate flow through it. It serves as headquarters for the Flaming Fist and their commander, my father. The Absolute's armies on the march. Gods forbid a tadpoled Grand Duke throw open the gates for them. Orin, I'd never heard tell of, but Gortash I know. Or know of, more precisely. A self-styled strategic advisor to Baldur's Gate's peers. A bit player with dreams of a leading role, the way Father told it. He had no use for Gortash, and even less for his advice. I don't remember much beyond that. But where these Chosen are concerned, I have a suspicion we're about to know more than we'd like. Yes, but first a question. If your home were under siege, what would you sacrifice to save it? Then you know loyalty, and you know what I did had to be done. I was 17. Father, older Ravengard, had just been named a Grand Duke, and was called away to Elturel to help settle a dispute. That's when the cult of the dragon made its move. A religion devoted to conjuring the most evil of goddesses, the dragon Tiamat. A 10-day after Father left, I heard a whisper as I slept. Duskhawk Hill. The Queen of Chaos awakens. Go alone. I grabbed a rapier and set out. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, yet not a single star was shining. There they were, gathered at the foot of the hill.
Your head tingles. Wyll wants to show you what happened. In the looming shadow of the mount, 5 groups of 5 figures each encircle a lofty totem. Atop each totem, a dragon's head is carved, and a massive orb held in its mouth. The cultists chant, first softly, then crying to the starless sky. There is a crack of thunder, a gust of wind, and a dragon's white head appears in the storm. As the maelstrom howls, Mizora's lips press to your ear. She will destroy Baldur's Gate. Grant me your soul, and I will give you the power to save it, she whispers.
She read the terms while 2 devils stood witness, and I said yes. 1 soul for 1 city. I don't know that it was brave. I just know that it was right. The moment I agreed, I burned with the fires of Avernus and oozed the rot of Dis. The cultists choked on our poisons and burned from our flames. And when we were done, all that remained were 5 grayed orbs atop a pile of ash. My soul was bound, and my lips were sealed. It is the one scar I ever bore of it. Mizora replaced it with a sending stone. She uses it to track my location and speak from a distance. I could flee to the spine of the world, or the depths of the lower dark, and still never shake her. She didn't. She came on order of her mistress, Zariel. Tiamat made a play for power. Zariel had other plans. That was the most Mizora's ever said. All that mattered was that she got her prize. Another pet added to her warlock menagerie. He returned to an unsuspecting city and a wayward son with a smirking devil at his side. I tried to tell him the truth, but my mouth couldn't form the words. I'd led him to the battlefield, but Mizora had swept it clean. I showed him my stone eye, but he only turned away. After, he said only one word: go. So I did. No, never. He did the only thing he could. In his eyes, I invited a devil into our midst. I was a fool at best, a traitor at worst, and Grand Duke Ravengard suffers neither. Resentment is a poison on one's heart. The only way to avoid damage is to pour it out. More than you know. The better question is, did he ever miss me? If he did, he missed the Wyll Ravengard he once knew, not the hell-touched warlock he returned to.
I never saw myself as a banisher of shadows before. I was always more of a lurker-in, historically. Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble, a little reclusive perhaps, but just another of the great and the good of Baldur's Gate. He has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if he performed the ritual there. It feels too public. It'd risk exposure. I know. Subtle, isn't it? I hope so, because I'm not striking another deal with Raphael. Knows what he'd demand this time. But if the citizens of Baldur's Gate don't know anything, my brothers and sisters might. Cazador is a master of secrets, but the other spawn must have seen something.
We must be free if we are to rule. And to be free, We must destroy this cult, and Ketheric's co-conspirators along with it. I know one of them, all too well. Baal's bloodletter, Orin. To think, I thought her to be speaking for the Absolute. I worshipped that woman. Jealous? You needn't be. When Orin is in my hands, her agony will nourish me. She is the Iblis who indoctrinated me with the Absolute's lies. She is fierce, vicious, and cruel. In those respects, we are alike. But she is dangerously unpredictable. If there is a way to turn this design towards slaughter, rather than control, she will take it. She is the one who brought me to Moonrise, and into the presence of her so-called god, the Absolute. Now I know that those memories are lies. There was no god. Orin held me down in a cocoon of flesh, while a mind flayer forced a parasite into my brain. And she laughed at my fear. I will find her. I will murder her. And I will smile. Let them think that. There is a short path from savior to ruler. A short and bloody path. I know it well, and we will walk it together. But Baldur's Gate is a mere bauble. We have the chance to seize something much greater. Surely you see it. In killing Ketheric, we fractured the cult's leadership. When we break the other chosen and claim their netherstones, we can take control. I would have thought this entire conspiracy of gods and monsters to be impossible if I had not seen it for myself. We may fail, but we must try. The power of the enslaved Elder Brain could reshape the world. We could reshape the world. There is violence in your future regardless. With me, you can at least be sure the violence will lead to glory. You are not stupid. When we reach Baldur's Gate and face the other chosen, you will see that my way is the right one. The Elder Brain is the only thing that has ever managed to change my mind. You're welcome to try. We are bound, then, to travel together, even if we do not yet agree on our ultimate purpose. There is yet one thing about you that troubles me, though. Something I need you to explain. Why come to Moonrise, where the cult's power is strongest? Why not walk away? True, but do not lose yourself to despair and fatalism. They tried to make victims of us, but we can take this opportunity to become gods. Now, I am ready to leave this damned place whenever you give the word. The city awaits.
Aylin! Isobel! My love. You were dead. I saw your body. I'm here. And so are you.
For all the pain it caused us, it did at least obscure the incessant sun. I take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever faults he may have had, Ketheric was a great leader. Life was crueler to him than death. It is no great wonder that he found his strength in Merkel. I believe he was an honorable man, but the gods used him as their plaything. First, Shar and her sister, then the three behind the Absolute. I sympathize. A meaningless question. If he had killed us and conquered the Sword Coast, I would envy him. As it is, he lost, and I pity him. But I will never forgive him for handing me to Orin. For that, I hope Merkel hollows out his bones and lets them be dust. A true soul came to my city preaching a message of togetherness, accompanied by 2 novices. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden. I would have picked prettier corpses if my intentions had been aesthetic. This was a warning against heresy. I was not content with the warning, though. I intended to wage war on their insolent god and the rest of its followers. Even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls, their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from. And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution. Yes. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers. No. I was prepared for combat, but I intended to strike subtly. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. Perhaps I deserved what came after the welcome as well. Ketheric proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities, mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance.
I think we've done rather a good thing here. A welcome change to gift this land a sliver of hope amongst so much despair.
You saw Gortash, didn't you? What the fuck was he doing down there? Is all of this because of him? The tadpole, the Absolute. How? I was his bodyguard. I looked after him with my life. I trusted him more than anything. He gave me away to Zariel just for kicks. He ruined my life just when it was starting. And now he'll use up the entire Sword Coast. He has to die. And I'm gonna be the one who kills him. He can't get away with what he's done. To me. To us. He won't get away with it.
There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer. Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne,
Hear me! Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Merkel, is dead at last. My mate, most high. Darling Isobel is safe and well. Safe and well, and returned to my embrace. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One. We are a powerful party indeed. Faerun itself trembles at our touch. My darling Isobel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it. Ketheric Thorm. Father of my one and only love. Enslaver of Dame Aylin. Ketheric Thorm never did trust me. Even when he worshipped the Moon Maiden. He was threatened by my love for Isobel. By her love for me. When she died, curse the day, the hour. We each of us mourned bitterly. But Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shar, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric fed upon my immortality all the while. But lo, the brute is dead, and we live!
Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? You sound like my father. But it was more than that. This was no mere attraction. It was love. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aylin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aylin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... And this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black.
What do you know about me? You spoke of my past, being chased by wolves. I told no one about that. Almost no one. But I certainly didn't share that with you.
There is nothing I can tell you that you do not already know yourself. They trained you well, trained you hard. Chiseled away any part of you that did not fit their plan. They made you forget.
I chose to do that. For the mission to protect Shar's...
Secrets. Yes, that is an old song, girl. Your goddess cares more for her precious secrets than she does her devotees.
Get to the point.
Common right amongst Aluna's followers to send their children off into the woods to find their way home. Perhaps this time it had gone awry. It seems that one child never came back. She was taken.
What? Who was that man?
You already know. Did you not see yourself in him? Do you not recognize your own blood?
My father. That was him.
That is him. He lives still. And your mother, too.
No. It can't be. I'm an orphan.
And who told you that? Your adoptive family? You are not to blame. You were young, impressionable. They took you because they wanted to break and remake you. But you are a child no longer. You are a woman, one who knows what must be done.
My parents... I need to save them.
Your parents are with your abductors. You will need to return to their lair. But be warned. You may have once thought of them as comrades, mentors, friends, even lovers. They will all be enemies now.
It hurts.
Shar torments you still. What a spiteful creature she is. This will not stop until you take action. See that your parents' sacrifices are not in vain. Allow the Moon Maiden to guide you at last.
So, it's a quest to free Shadowheart's parents, is it? And here I was, worried I'd be the only one with a difficult family reunion waiting in the city.
At least Shadowheart is armed with the truth now. May its keen edge draw forth whatever vengeance she desires.
The truth is finally dawning. Shadowheart can follow its light, or she can retreat back into dusk.
But before that, there's one thing I need to see to. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Just leave it with me.
The curse has been lifted. The land's cleansed of the shadows. Kethric's reign of living death is over. Your courage has been tested, and in this, at least, you have triumphed.